Something is going on in the gold world, and I'm not just talking about macroeconomic data. I'm not just talking about, what's happening with the Fed, but rather some drama that's actually going down in the physical gold held in Fort Knox by the United States government. This is something really interesting, and although this is not the kind of content I usually make for my channel, this really caught my eye, and I want to discuss why it certainly could be a huge market mover for the price of gold. Gold prices have been surging for the last several months, and this makes me very much wonder if part of the reason is what we're discussing here. So let's get into what is happening. Well, basically, the administration is talking about potentially doing some sort of audit of the gold, the physical gold bullion held in Fort Knox. And the reason that this is drama and interesting at all is because there are people, actually a rising number of people, suggesting that the US government does not actually have the amount of physical gold that it on the books and on the record says that it does. Of course, I'm not going to get too far into the politics side of things, as I know this is not a politics channel and people are very, easily, bothered by this conversation whatsoever. But one thing to talk about is, of course, Elon Musk is a big proponent of doing some sort of audit. He's made a lot of tweets about this, but I want to talk more about the actual possible implications on the gold market. And I found some interesting stuff that I wanted to share with you. So price action looks incredibly bullish, and I think that gold very well could see 3,000 an ounce pretty soon, especially if this news escalates in any way, shape, or form. We've also seen a lot of accumulation by institutional money recently in the price of gold. Despite the price of gold going up, institutional money still continues to build a bigger and bigger position. In fact, on the contracts tracked by the CFTC's commitment of traders data, we've got up to 85.3% of those contracts are long. So there's a heavy preference to the bullish side by institutional money when it comes to gold futures contracts. And I find this very, very interesting because, of course, we also have some other reasons, some concerns, about tariffs and about uncertainties about what's going on in the world. But you have to ask yourself, what is going on with all of the kind of gold rally that we've recently seen? And I think part of the reason that we're seeing it is because people are a little worried that if an audit happens, what could happen if there is not gold or as much gold as on the books there was said to be? Well, my thought on this is that if you get a lot less gold in the actual reserve than what people thought there would be, the dollar would be going down heavy. And the reason for that is because this is an integrity thing. People use the dollar as a global reserve currency. And although the US dollar is not necessarily backed by gold, it does play a huge role in whether or not the US government and the Federal Reserve and all that is actually a sanctuary for global kind of reserve status for a currency. And the thing here is, if that happens and they open up the vaults and there's not nearly enough gold to match what is said to be there, and that gets found out by the market, the dollar would sell, and in my opinion, gold would easily have a repricing event. And if you don't know what that means, a repricing event would simply say, if you can no longer trust the dollar, what is gold really worth when valued in dollars? Think about that for yourself. Clearly, the US dollar is a lot less valuable in that circumstance if that were to come true, and gold would probably reprice to something significantly higher than where it currently sits. It is possible and has happened in the past that when gold prices really launch, they really launch. And I'm talking about hundreds of dollars an ounce very, very quickly. In fact, let's go do kind of a historical study of this back in like 2011, right? 2008, 2009. Look how quickly we went from $700 gold up to $1,900 gold. That is a period of just a few short years. So it is very possible for gold to make those kinds of rapid movements higher. And we've already been in a recent very strong upward trend. It's not out of the question that we could see that trend continue or perhaps even accelerate. Now, I want to be clear. I have no idea if there is or is not as much gold as forecasted, and conspiracy theorists are having a lot of fun with this one. But from a trading perspective, this just tells me if they find anything, if there's any even inclination that they are going to do an audit, the market will probably buy gold as a hedge. Now, this is not, again, a guarantee that gold prices go up. Nothing ever is. But if they find something, or they even conduct an inspection leading up to that inspection, gold prices may continue to go crazy. And I do suspect that that is part of the reason why gold prices are going crazy right now. People are wondering, oh my gosh, if an audit happens and there's not as much gold in there, I got to get my hands on gold now. We've seen central banks hoarding gold for years, and we've seen more of that going on. China actually coming out and saying they're back on the buying train. So I think it's an interesting time. Gold looks very strong in 2025. I remain bullish. I have positioning on, specifically I'm long silver, which is, a trade that I've been talking about here recently. And although it is based on the macro as well, I think that this story just adds fuel to the flame here, and we could see some really interesting moves in metals. By the way, if you'd like to get access to the Commitment of Traders data to track what is going on with gold and silver each week according to institutional money, I'll leave a link down below in the description to where you can find out more information on getting a copy of the tool. It is a one-time price to purchase the software, so if you're interested in getting more information about it, check the link in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I hope that video was helpful to you, and I also wanted to make sure to share our Telegram channel with you. Every day we are posting up chart markups and analysis and in-depth breakdowns of what's going on both fundamentally and technically in the markets. We also drop bonus videos in the Telegram channel, so don't miss out. Come join our Telegram channel. The link is in the description down below. Have a great rest of your day.